friends, Heidi here from Rain Country. God is good all the time, and I'm here for another this and that video. For those of you who are new, it's basically a semi-weekly vlog I do, just talking about the many things I have going on. These aren't my how-to videos. I have separate videos just for that. It's just to direct you to some other how-to videos, or maybe videos by other people that are how-to videos, and or to show you some different experiments I have going on. So one of the first things I wanted to talk about is I finally remembered, this is one of my new garage sale flannel shirts I've been wearing a lot lately, and I finally remembered to get around to fixing the sleeves. So I have a special trick I do to the sleeves so that I can roll them up and that they stay in place, and it involves using some buttonhole elastic. I have a video on this that I'll go ahead and link to down below. But basically, I just stitch a piece of buttonhole elastic on one side, leaving the buttonholes on the other side where I can actually connect them to the button. So that makes it big enough where I can actually roll it up, but also it gives it elasticity, a little bit of stretchiness, and makes it tight enough that I can roll it up and it stays in place as well. Instead of, you know, when you unbutton it and you roll it up and it doesn't stay in place, you can't roll it up very good when it's totally buttoned up because it's too tight and you can't get it up as far as you want. Putting the buttonhole elastic on there, just a major life hack that when I thought of that idea a while back, I was like, why didn't I think of it sooner? So I've been going through all my different flannel shirts and doing that so that I can roll up my sleeves and then push them up and keep them in place. So another thing I wanted to talk about, now this is going to be somebody else's video, so I'm going to link you to a video that Mary put out over at Mary's Nest, one of my friends. She's got a great channel, so if you haven't found her yet, you got to go check her out. But anyway, she did a video on how to make your own evaporated milk. Now the day that I'm actually shooting this video is 2 days before Thanksgiving. So I made this yesterday so I could have it for my pumpkin pie. I started off with 4 cups of milk so that I could cook it down to 2 cups of evaporated milk, so it will be very rich, and you can see the color. I don't know if you can tell how well in there, but compared to the white top, it's definitely got a richer, more creamy color to it. And so I'm anxious to try it in my pumpkin pie that I'm going to be making tomorrow. So anyway, go check out Mary's channel and check out her video. Again, I will link that particular video right up here so you can find that, and also down below in the description box. Now, I did also just shoot a video on Marshmallow Root. And so I've got a little bit more here. I still have a bunch more, not just a bunch more to dig up, but a bunch more on the deck. I got to finish rinsing off and bringing in and cutting up. And so I've been dehydrating a bunch of it up. I've got 2 full jars so far. But one of the things, and if you're interested in that video, by the way, I'll go ahead and link to that down below and up here as well. But one of the things I've been doing as well, besides the dehydrating of it, is using it fresh in my teas. It's just really good fresh in the teas. So I'll be making some more tea out of this tonight. My favorite as of lately has been my own mint blend out of my garden with the fresh marshmallow root. That shelf back there is where I keep all my different tea blends or items that I use in making my nightly pots of tea. And so this is my own personal homegrown mint blend here, and I think this one might actually have a little bit of yarrow in it. Sometimes I'll throw a little bit of yarrow or dandelion flowers in there, but typically I try to keep it just the mints. And then so I'll use a whole bunch of this in a pot, plus I'll use about maybe that much of the marshmallow root all together. I just chop it up and throw it in there, and it has been making a very, very nice tea and very soothing to my throat. And so that's been very, very helpful. And if you don't know, it tends to get sore. It's not allergies, it's not a cold. It's simply from nodules that formed on my vocal cords when I was in my 30s, I believe it was. And they'll be there for the rest of my life unless I want to have them surgically removed, which I don't, because they most likely will come back. That's actually very common amongst people who sing a lot or speak a lot, public speaking or anything like that, is to develop nodules. It's just basically overuse of the vocal cords. And it happens to a lot of people. So anyway, it's not a big deal. It can just get uncomfortable at times. Okay, and then a couple more things I wanted to talk about. I wanted to show you how my pepper infused oil is coming along. It's only been a month so far. So this is using the red pepper flakes. And one of the things I didn't think to say is that the flakes I use in these are, yes, they are hot red peppers. I believe it's the same, it's the cayenne pepper they use in the red pepper, but it's usually pretty vague. It might even be a blend of different hot red peppers, but it is hot. Okay, so when you're making your pepper infused oil, I don't think it really matters what hot pepper you're using as long as it's a hot pepper. But some people were wondering if maybe it was like a red bell pepper. Well, that was why I put flames. I always think of red pepper flakes as being hot peppers anyway, but that's also why I put the flames on the thumbnail and on the in the starting when you see the words come up, it's actually flames. But anyway, that's that was because it's hot. So it's coming along real nicely. And if you're curious about why I would make this and what I use it in, you can check out my video on how I made this, and I talk about the uses for it as well. And I'll go ahead and link to that down below. Because I don't like to use iCards too much because they only allowed 5 right up here. So then the other infused oil is the one I've got going for my healing salve, and I don't know how well you can see that color there. It's been actually, by the time you see this, it will have been 2 months, but I'm probably going to leave it for at least another month. I think when it comes to infusing oils, the longer you can leave it, the better. But it's taken on a nice kind of goldish brown color, and maybe what I'll do is I'll go ahead and strain a little bit out and put it in a glass and take a picture of it and put it right here so you can see what it looks like so far. Now, it probably won't get any darker than that, but it might. So anyway, it's probably ready as is, but I like to leave it as long as I can whenever I'm infusing oil. So same thing with this. This will stay in here. The pepper will stay in this until I need it, which it will be a while. It'll be quite a few months. So it's not going to hurt it to stay in there. That's just my personal preference. So some other things that I did talk about in the marshmallow video I just did is the shampoo. So I have a video I just did on this. This is using marshmallow root and colloidal copper and a bunch of other herbs. So you can check out my video on how I made that. And then also my syrup that I made specifically for my throat. I actually took a tiny bit of this just before I started this video because I just shot another one. And my throat was already a little sore this morning anyway, and it's definitely helping quite a bit. So this is based off my cough, cold, and flu syrup, but this one is made more specifically to help with my throat when it swells up and gets sore. And but it's the same basic recipe, and I'm really happy with this. If you saw my last Q&A video, it seems like I'm putting out a Q&A video every few months when it comes to vinegar. But anyway, this is my latest batch of vinegar. This one is made entirely with home-dried apples from our tree and some raisins. So it's an apple raisin vinegar, thus the darker color is coming from the raisins. And you can see it's very bubbly and doing quite well. And it's time to stir it. So I like to stir my vinegar. When I first started my YouTube channel, I'd been making vinegar for a while, but I wasn't using the stir method. But then I found what an easy way to keep up on it. No need for weights. It keeps it oxygenated, and you don't have to worry about mold buildup in there either. It's just been ideal. And then I like to use a cloth with a rubber band. That's to keep, remember, your vinegar has to have oxygen. You do not want to use an airlock on it or you're going to end up with wine. If you want vinegar, a cloth, or even a coffee filter with a rubber band, that's to keep the fruit flies and dust and things like that out. Okay, well, I guess that's it for my this and that video. It seems like a shorter one, and I'm sure I had more stuff to talk about. And oh yes, by the way, if you haven't seen it yet, I've been doing a series on my prepping, on my purse or purses, and the prepping items I like to carry in that. So if you're curious about that, go ahead and check out the playlist I'll put down below. I just shot the third video for that. It'll probably come out after this, so be watching for the third one to come out, but until then you can watch the first 2 that I have out already. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Take care and God bless.